think we're up. I think we are. Yes. There it is. Hello. Wow. There's only two of us. Oh my. And then there were two.
Oh God, no, I hope not.
I hope not. Welcome back to Open Spellbook, Aias and Arcane Awakening. Yeah, you got me and you got Tristan. We're going to do something a little different this time. We're going to do a couple of one-on-one character arcs. And I've actually never done D&D with just one person before. Tristan, have you?
No.
Okay, so we're both going into this kind of blind. Yeah, this will be interesting. But, yeah. Idea with this is to basically explore individual character arcs. I think it might be fun as well to kind of talk about some of the like character building process for you, too, with making Pyrik, and then what kind of things are important to you about him, and then I can talk a little bit about the Unseelie and Seelie courts, the Morose, and some of the world building aspects of that too, and then we'll have a little short arc of some of Pyrik's deep dark secrets. Indeed. First thing though, I have a little gift for you.
Do you?
I do, yes. And you definitely already know what this is. But here you are, my friend.
Oh,
ta-da!
thank you. Yay!
Yes!
It's so pretty.
Wait, is that the right one? I believe it is.
Okay.
There should be some golden moths in there.
Yes,
that's the right one.
Moths. I've never had a liquid core dice.
Well, now you do, and it's personalized to Pyrik. We've partnered with my friend Rue over at the Glowing Crow Creations to make our very first set of official Open Spellbook dice, and they even made one for me with little stars in them.
Oh, I love it.
Also liquid core. If you can kind of see that there, maybe. But
I like how the natural 20 is a feather.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. Each of the dice that we have for the characters is going to have a different type of liquid core in it, and there's also some neat character-specific stuff that's inside each of the dice. So with Pyrik and the Morose Gathering, you have those mothy elements, but also the colors with summer and fire, and matching kind of the aesthetic that Pyrik has visually. So Rue did a really great job with these.
These are beautiful.
Yeah, and even better, we got 2 more sets of them. So tomorrow, which is my birthday, we are gonna have our very first giveaway. So tune into Instagram tomorrow afternoon. I'm going to sleep in on my birthday. Tomorrow afternoon for info on how you could potentially get one of 2 of these sets. Woohoo!
That's right.
Very exciting.
The best time to be part of a giveaway is when a business is in its like earlier stages, because you have a better chance of winning.
Exactly, yeah. So all couple hundred of you that actually
and that's still so cool, by the way. I keep an eye on the like the follower count and all that kind of stuff. It's very cool.
Absolutely. I mean, 250, it's 250 people. That's a whole theater. So
oh my God, that's so true.
Very grateful for that. Thank you for everybody tuning in and just being interested, even if you're not interested, like my mom and dad who don't know what's going on with D&D, even just sharing that stuff. I'm very appreciative.
We love the quiet supporters of the arts.
Exactly.
The donors, the philanthropists.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly that. But one of these days, I'll get my mom and dad to play D&D with me, so that they can understand how much fun it is. So
you can understand how much work goes into it.
That too. That part. But I guess let's dive in.
Sure.
Shall we? With this first thing, I'd love to talk a bit about Pyrik and what you kind of wanted to get out of this experience.
Oh man.
with him or open the spellbook or just in general?
Well, you'll remember I had such a terrible creative block with coming up with this character.
Yes.
Which is not normal for me. I think character creation is the thing I like most about D&D. I think I have like 2 or 3 back-ended characters that are just kind of like on deck.
Right.
I even have a character built to replace Torin, if he ever meets the wrong end of narrative. So like he's got a whole accent and character voice and story, like he's ready to go. So creating characters has always been my favorite part. So when I was like, okay, now we planned this for over a year.
I think January was when I really got like the ball rolling on this. And I think I pulled you in around maybe March or so. Yeah.
So I had plenty of time, and I think it wasn't even until like 2 weeks before the first episode that I was like, I finally got it. I finally have it nailed down. And even then, I've had such a hard time struggling with sort of like the backstory and the motivations. But I think that's kind of fun because there's a lot of opportunity to grow and to build into a character. I have a bad habit of kind of like painting myself into a narrative corner where it's like, how is a character diverse enough to have desires and motivations that are and simultaneously are not informed by the backstory? How do you have a character that feels real and lived in, but not entirely dictated by this traumatic experience or this haunted moment,
or it's what my character would do.
Yeah, right.
That's written on the page.
I get to find out what he would do. I think we just last session we had an insight check opportunity, and I think we've established that Pyrik is neurodivergent. So I think there was a moment where like, I don't think he would. I don't think he would know to be insightful about that. I think he would just take it at face value and be like, okay, he doesn't read the cue, right? He's just like, that sounds great. And he was not designed to be an autistic eruditious man, but it sort of fell into place where it was like, that makes sense, it feels right. But creating him was a little difficult because I was trying to figure out what experience I wanted. I'd never done a sorcerer before. I've never done a caster before, so it was exciting to kind of delve into what that meant. And that also opened up a lot of opportunities for how the backstory would be, what the origin for the character would be, because with a sorcerer it's one of the 2 innate magic wielders, right? Where it's like it is they are naturally by some way, shape, or form magic wielders, whereas I think the others are you've got like warlock, which is a pact,
right?
You've got wizard, which is learned, whereas I think sorcerers have this sort of like deeply ingrained magic with the world.
The second one is bard, is it not?
I think bard actually
feels right just because of like innate musical talent or performance talent.
Because I think paladin and cleric, the idea is that they joined and learned through joining their organizations. Druid might be the other one.
That feels also correct.
But now that you mentioned
it,
a bard is technically a caster, which will never stop being weird to me.
They're a half caster at least.
Take that.
So maybe they don't even count in the same way that a sorcerer does.
I think bard is like closer to wizard in that sense, then, where it's just like I have learned to also use my music for good. So becoming this casting character, I wanted to really delve into magic not just as a mechanic of the character, but as a mechanic of the role play itself, where magic was inherently ingrained as an aspect of the character that informed his choices. So I was able to become more attuned with Aias overall.
It's interesting you bring up the word choice too, because I'm thinking I think of like the subtitle of the campaign, the power of choice is the greatest magic of all, and that's kind of I'm hoping you'll discover this as we go through, but it's kind of what I'm hoping to be the thesis of this campaign, just like our choices matter, and how butterfly landing on this chair instead of that leaf causes the collapse of civilization or something. So I appreciate that, particularly like with Pyrik, you have the world building of itself kind of written into, literally because he's a sorcerer, written into his DNA.
Yeah, it is. He is motivated by Aias in a very similar way that I, as a player, am motivated by Aias. There's I think there's a parallel. I think Pyrik is a character that is. It's hard to explain. I don't see myself in his character, which is exciting. I don't feel like there's a lot of personal identity, which gives me a lot of freedom to sort of just be someone entirely different, which is exciting. I think there's a lot, obviously, the inherent comedy that comes through is going to be very similar, but I don't think his motivations are my motivations, which has been really interesting with some of our other characters in our other campaign.
Icewind Dale.
There's definitely, I've sort of blurred the line between my character and me. But that also helps in the other direction because I know exactly what he would do. I know exactly what he would say. I know who he is and what he would do because there's a lot of me in him. Whereas with Pyrik, I really don't know. I mean, the entire first session, I was like actively laying track in front of the train. I was like, I don't know what's coming down the line, but I have to do something. You know, even his voice is still like constantly like ebbing and flowing. But I mean, this is a fantasy world. It's just like he's like.
It could be the nature of the Feyfar.
Yeah,
that his accent changes or something, just slightly.
The Newfoundland accent of Aias, where it's just like 5 different accents actively working.
Yeah, there we go. I like that actually. That's cool.
But it's been really interesting because I love where he's come, but I don't know exactly how it happened. It just sort of like sprang fully forward.
Organically evolved.
Yeah. It was an aha moment. And I was like, okay, I think this works.
Yeah. And that feels that's very different from what you described, where it's like you are putting part of yourself, which I mean, I'm sure that is in there somewhere with Pyrik, and part of the fun is discovering what that is. I've had that with my own characters too. In another campaign, there was this pirate paladin I made. He calls himself a privateer, and everyone else in the party kept calling him a pirate because it was pretty much. And he got so upset with that and frustrated with it. And I remember distinctly thinking, "Oh, this feels a lot like my own career thoughts right now, huh?" I'm gonna have to unpack that later, and that's why people use D&D as therapy.
Yeah. Do you feel akin to Lou from Dimension 20 in Fantasy High? Because his character is very similar to that.
I'm not aware of him actually.
We'll talk after because I think you'll really enjoy.
Yeah. It's funny, and it's funny. I feel like even though I'm doing this, I have consumed so little actual live stream.
So much
D&D content. Yeah. I listen to High Rollers as the as in their podcast format. So shout out to them for being a big inspiration on this. But that's pretty much it. Because Critical Role, I have not listened to very much or watched.
I've missed that boat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm loosely catching up on all the abridged series because I'm like, I just don't.
I'm trying to listen to Campaign 4 with Brennan, and I'm enjoying certainly the cast, and then they're putting their whole ass into voice acting it too, which is just like, I wish I could do all of that. Frankly, it's the ads that kill me because it's like interruptions throughout.
Oh God, yeah.
So
my immersion.
Yeah.
But I think the magic being such the impetus for the entirety of the world, both figuratively and literally.
Yes, bringing it back in. Thank you.
There's sort of this desire to want to be a part of that, and so I mean. A rogue is fun. A paladin is fun. I was a fighter once, and it was fun if you're willing to stick around for 7 to 8 levels. So I was like, what's something that's a little bit more interesting and can keep me grounded in the world? Again, both figuratively and literally. And that's just sort of where... And I think in the last session, or the...
Session before.
Yeah, there was the official canonization of the wild magic element, which again feels very appropriate for the setting.
I would agree. And I think too, you'll also kind of see that in what I have in store for us today. It's that magic is innately in the world, whether it is in the ground itself, or the people, or the animals and plants and environment. It's everywhere. This is a bit where maybe my Star Wars is coming through. It's a bit like the Force in that regard, but not as esoteric, we'll say, maybe.
Or conversely, as quantifiable as midichlorians might be.
Yeah, well, there's the whole element of the color with it too, which is literally objectively quantifiable.
Sure.
But
is a bigger crystal stronger than a smaller crystal?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's
right.
to say?
Just the fact that you even have one at all, though, would be mind-blowing, right? Where it's
correct. It is because it is literally everywhere, but it's the idea of the color is that it's so diluted that yes, it can inherently power people with sorceress abilities, or through practice like a wizard or a bard, they can call upon the elements of nature to produce a magical effect. And finding even like a small rhinestone's worth is incredibly difficult. These are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of material. Something like the Hope Diamond sized, or something enormous, like the size of an apple, would be stuff of legends. Something like the Heart of Aias, for example.
Sure.
The stuff of legends.
Louvre heist.
Yeah, Louvre heist. We'll have a heist at some point. Don't know when.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but we will. Whereas, like, you also have these outer planes that have this color material in it, but it's not necessarily functioning in the same way as it might on the material plane, because the material plane is supposed to be Aias' body. Big inspiration in that regard is kind of the Marvel's Eternals, where you have the, what do you call them again? The big giant people.
Oh, the Celestials?
The Celestials, thank you. Yeah. It's basically a celestial that is the world, at least in that regard.
Your outer planes are Wi-Fi connected, but Aias is Ethernet hard cable.
Actually, that's a great way of putting it.
It's like you can this for some reason, somehow, no one knows how, internet comes to this thing. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Right? And it works, and it's powered, and it just works.
Kind of, yeah.
Whereas I know for a fact, if I just take this thing and I plug it in, that it's absolutely going to work, and it's going to work stronger.
Yeah.
It's going to be a more reliable and stronger connection.
That's actually a great way to...
I'm all metaphors.
Yeah,
so it's metaphors all the way down.
Watch me writing this down. Wi-Fi versus Ethernet.
Got that Cat 6 color.
That's just really what... You've had, like, the last couple sessions, you've had a couple quotes where I'm just like, write that down. Thank you.
Thank you.
Outer planes. Yeah, there we go. Cool. That's for me
Outer
later.
Worlds. Sorry.
Yeah. And a lot of this too today, like in this session, we're gonna probably focus a little more on Pyrik's homeworld, we'll say, homeland. The Moreaus, which in this universe, if you missed it, the Seelie and Unseelie, the Moreaus courts, they live on the two moons that are always kind of in battle with each other, known as the Great Game. It's kind of this Cold War of spying and subterfuge and trickery and agents on the material plane against other agents to kind of get an edge over each other. And the seasons with that are a reflection of which court is the dominant power at that given point in the year. So with the Moreaus, it's a lot more of the winter and spring, whereas the Seelie is going to be the summer and fall months. So something like Frostfall being a kind of wintry, springtimey name fits really well with that.
Hell yeah.
Love it. It's the fall of the frost. So
yeah, the source books are always like, yeah, Eladrin have like very seasonal names, you know, like Ember, you know, like almost like Genasi in that way.
Yeah.
But I was like, what if it was both?
Right.
What if no one could figure it out? Pyrik Frostfall was not, you know, an accidental name choice. It was, I think I like the idea of it being almost contradictory. You know, so we'll see.
I mean, there's kind of some contradictory things I feel like that have risen for him, where he has these goals that he wants, and then does something out of the ordinary. I mean, granted, people do things out of character for them all the time.
Motivations are nuanced. I think having a single driving goal is exciting at first, but I think can get very difficult after a while. Just like I think the idea of pigeonholing your own motivations just limits the way that the narrative can progress.
Yeah.
So I don't see why I would do that, because he's still a breathing individual, with thought and, you know, the ability to make new choices based off new information.
Absolutely, yeah.
So.
And goals can change too, so maybe that will with the presentation of new information, either for him or for you as the player, or
I'll be interested to see how Winona progresses as well, for that matter. Right, you start talking about characters with very hard, you know, very principled characters.
Yes.
I like to see how those principled characters begin to kind of like bend and sway as the story progresses.
Yeah, where do the rules bend and then break?
At what point do you have to accept the fact that there's just no other option? We saw that in the library.
Yeah.
So.
And I think, to your point on that too, it's really interesting. You brought her up too, because this whole time I was drafting the plot for this campaign, you and Jaden described to me very similar tracks of mind, just from different angles, and kind of seeing the different directions that you guys can go in that in these same sort of opportunities for your characters is a really exciting prospect for me.
Yeah, I like that there's definitely a very apparent parallel between Wynn and Pyrik, but then there's also a kind of like the untapped racial parallel between Faye's character, Vesper and Pyrik as well, which is still funny because they're still so different. Because whereas I'm from the Moreaus, they are
She's from the material plane.
Okay, right.
I don't know if
we haven't touched on that yet.
Yeah, so I don't know if
I'm not trying to get you to tell me something. I'm just.
She's from the material plane. Yeah. Quite a ways away from Bard's Bailey. I will share that with you.
Sure. I think the only local is Wynn.
Yes, and she's not even really that local. She's from a town down the
Kentucky.
She's kind of. She's like, if she's in if she's living in she's going to school in Chicago and she's from Minneapolis.
Sure.
Basically.
Okay. I gotcha.
To use a real world analogy.
Same but different.
Yeah. So just moved out of state to go to school, in like 2 states over or a state over.
Not only 2, but relatable.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Shall we
sure
get into some of the narrative, I suppose? Might as well. And I know I explained this to you already, but for those of you watching, this is going to be a little fast and loose, just because this is a very different format from what both of us are used to. So it may be a little silly at times. I don't know how much actual dice rolling there will be, but there will be a little bit. I will try and find opportunities for us to use these fancy new dice from our good friend. And
What was the shop name again?
the Glowing Crow.
Glowing Crow.
And we will have that info on Instagram tomorrow. I'll put something out on our Facebook page too, as well as our Discord. Please join our Discord if you haven't already. We play a lot of Wordle there, and I want to do more things than just Wordle. I would die and go to heaven and then come back as a lich if I could see some fan art someday. Just putting that out there. That would be so great. But let's dive back into the narrative as it is. So we are in session 6, officially. Welcome back to Aias and Arcane Awakening. Where we last left off, our band of adventurers had taken some time to relax and explore the city of Bard's Bailey after their harrowing few days. A battle in the city's Witchgrove Cemetery up at the Academy against some malignant undead forces, and an escape from the secretive Library of the Artful Beldames to find deeper answers to this spreading undeath and some other mysteries of our own and personal endeavors. Those have left our heroes to seek direction from those among you, the syndicate of powerful ne'er-do-wells controlling much of the region's underbelly. While Winona secludes herself to her arcane studies, Fenlis, Vesper, and Pyrik, after some prayers in the city center at the cathedral, and a relaxing moment at the hairdresser, have made contact with this Thieves' Guild in the back bar of a high society venue known as the Hieronymus Club, a salon and lounge for the wealthy, which masquerades its ulterior designs. It's here we return with Pyrik in the guild chapter's main hall. So you have successfully made your way into good graces with the local chapter of Those Among You, which, again, are Thieves' Guild in this region of the world. It's a ways underground from the Hieronymus Club, and while it does appear to be in this old sub-basement style network of tunnels, you do see it has been well taken care of and well furnished. There are several folks, many of them wearing masks and heavy coats to disguise their identities. Some in lighter armors and finer garb that are maybe a little gutsier, have a little bit more gumption, or perhaps a little more power in the city to not be afraid of associating with the Those Among You guild here. So this brickwork, it's pretty dimly lit. You are in kind of this lobby room that does have a weapons check, as well as a few off-shooting parlors as well, and meeting rooms. There does appear to be, in the next main room, there appears to be another bar of sorts. That does look rather popular. You hear some music coming from the far end of it as well. And among the people that are conversing with each other in hushed tones, there's also this bouncer. I believe he was a half-orc gentleman that let you in. Mm-hmm. He is making his way back up the stairs, back into that coat room that he was managing. And then you see a few other thiefly-looking folks in brown canvasy style jackets with very little embellishment. those folks appear to be the ones that are working in the area. Say one of them is a wood elf, and the other is a goblin.
I think he's had just about enough of the subterfuge, so he's going to probably head towards somewhere a little more casual. So he's going to probably head towards the bar area.
Great.
And as any good information-seeking individual would, he's going to attempt to speak with the bartender.
Yes, of course. Yes. You would see that there is obviously there's 2 or 3 bartenders, as this is a very busy part of the Thieves Guild, where casual business meetings arise. I would almost say it's even more like there is a small bar in the center of this room, and there might be more tables and chairs and booths for people to have these more intimate discussions under the music. Since we've been doing this at Krupp and Saro's, we'll roll for how good the music is, and I'm going to roll on my brand new dice for the first time. I'll roll with advantage because this would be really nice.
It's unlikely they've brought in a musician.
They're not going to bring in poor musicians, no. Let's see. I rolled a 14 straight. I feel like that would be a 17 based on just modifiers. So, yeah. This is a pretty talented musician. They would be playing on the cello, we'll say, or a cello-like instrument. The strings would probably be this sinew made from maybe a drake or something, so it has this roaring resonance, we'll say. That does a really nice job of masking the conversations without being overbearing. The booths themselves, very plush, sage green furniture and pillows and cushions that are adorning the seats. And you would see at the bar, again in this kind of plainer canvas style jacket, no insignias or symbols of any kind on these. The bartenders, all of them will say are tieflings of varying variety. One that has kind of earthier green tones with ram's horns. And then there would be one that has kind of the spiraling sort of horns in purples, and then with purple skin, and a goatee beard. And then we'll say there's one that has kind of orange or summery tones with horns that look a little bit more like antlers, but perhaps a bit more insectoid.
Okay.
Of the people that are frequenting the bar in this moment, you'd see about 7 folks that mind their own business of varying social statuses and subterfuge. One at the bar would be an older gentleman. We'll say he's an orc, dressed in noble finery, not at all obscuring his identity. Shaved bald head, painted nails, we'll say.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Some gold caps on his tusks.
All right. So I'll go and speak with one of the bartenders, whoever's closest, probably.
Yeah. We'll say which one catches your eye?
I like the one with the vertical spiral.
Yeah.
Like onto box style. All right.
Yeah. What can I do for you?
What's the most popular drink here?
We have a fine whiskey from up north, from the kingdom of Pruada.
Sounds
Yes.
wonderful.
Yes, it has some spices in it with a little sweetness. Yes,
Perfect.
can give you this. Would you like it mixed with anything, sir?
No, just on its own would be lovely.
Very good.
Where's the voice?
Sympathetic.
That was
accents.
me just ordering a drink. Actually, that was just like I was like I came out and I was like, that sounds nice.
Yeah. And he pours that for you.
Okay.
But that'll be 1 silver, please.
Of course. And he hands them over. See, I want to do something like. I'm embracing the idea of just like being such a rookie at this ridiculous sort of like coded experience, you know. And
Yes.
my instinct is to hand him 2 silvers, right? You know, it's very like I have more to do here, sort of thing.
Yes.
So, but I'm just picturing like the we don't do that. You know what I mean? Like the sorry, you know. No, so I think he's just gonna give him 2 silvers, and he's gonna without spending too much of a gab, he's gonna say, this is something of a new experience for myself, and I wonder if you might know of a good contact here who would be helpful in direction or
Direction.
momentum.
Yes. I suppose I can be helpful with this. Unspoken duty of mine here at the bar is being a receptionist of sorts, to point people in different directions. Yes. Do you have a buddy of sorts? Or any pals here that you are looking for?
No, I think the intention is to make new acquaintances.
Yes. Well, you are an acquaintance yourself, it seems.
Yes, and he's going to remember back to what
Make
the host said.
Yeah.
And he's going to. They're very clearly the coded language was varying levels of sociability,
Yes.
right? So I think we had mentioned Townsend.
Yes,
Darrow
Townsend
was
Darrow
a
would have informed you
acquaintance.
on this. Yes. An acquaintance, he would have explained, is a non-member who is associated with the guild, which that could be an informant, a fence, a third-party smuggler of sorts, a scout, or some bribed official. Whereas someone like a pal is going to be a newer member, or going as far as a buddy, your best friend, that's going to be like your leaders.
Gotcha.
So I guess my question for you, my friend, my new acquaintance, what kind of direction are you seeking to go?
Damn. That's a good question. Well, that's hard because I don't actually know.
Okay.
Because on one hand, there's the this is an interesting sort of like connection to have, and it'd be cool to be able to have this connection. But at the same time, it's like, for me personally, this is not necessarily in the same vein of like where I'm trying to get to. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, on one hand, I'm like, I want to be.
It's like, why am I here?
Why am I doing this?
It's kind of one of those interesting moments of dichotomy where Pyrik has this goal that he wants, but also he's doing something that isn't necessarily aligned with that. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say, if you need any assistance with finding those goals. I think Townsend Darrow being a magic shop owner, he would have related that they may be able to point you in the direction of some of the like good stuff. Which, whether that's additional powerful spell components or information on how to find certain things in Aias, or you want to track somebody down. That could give you what you're looking for.
Let me take a look at my inventory real fast. Okay, so in my books. Okay. So, I've read a little bit of The Heart of Aias, for example.
Yes.
Is there an author to that book?
There is not.
No.
Make a history check.
Sure.
Use your brand new dice. Come on.
Yeah. Big new boy. History?
Yes, please.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, that should be all right. He says optimistically. 13.
13. Just by looking at this tome, you can tell it is old.
Sure.
The bindings are probably newer. However, the text itself, just from your reading of it, whether the vellum pages are original or a translated copy, you cannot say, but the prose of it feels intangibly old.
Yeah, like a redistributed, translated Aliantar text, where it's like old enough to be an original text, but like it's obviously been reprosed.
This could very well have been written by Aliantar himself.
With that particular book, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay. What about the Core Forged and the...
I'll let you ride the 17. The Core Forged, based on your context clues with that and the subject matter, that is a newer text. It might be a couple years old at most. As the Core Forged are a new arrival onto the existence of Aias, into the universe, really. Certainly on the material plane, if they've been somewhere else, this is in secret. But it's a newer concept for sure. So that book is much newer. What's the other one that you were...
I've got the Demonics Curses and Their Uses, and then I've got, in our party inventory, we actually have the Forgotten Saint, which is what I think hit me in the head.
That is the one that hit you in the head.
So if there's not like a direct author on one of these books, I think what I would probably say is he would be looking for someone, and that someone would be I'm seeking information regarding the history of the giants, and so I need sort of a direction on someone who might know something about these things.
Interesting.
Oh, you roll history.
This bartender doesn't know much about the giants himself. You can definitely clock that. Well, from what I know, there was many battles in and around this area, is what I'm told. There's probably some ruins somewhere you can dig up. But for perhaps magic items of the giants, you might see our fence Bartolomeo.
Right.
Yes. He may have some directions on where he gets his wares, we'll say.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. And is there anything else I can help you with, my friend?
No, I think that'd be fine for now.
Excellent. He pours you another whiskey.
Thank you.
You paid for two.
So I did.
Yes. They pay me fine here.
The level of full wage.
Yeah, no, they do get a livable wage. Just above the table. They absolutely do.
They actually get a W-2.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not quite. It's more of a Robin Hood kind of
Okay.
Steal from the rich, give to the poor sort of sense.
Gotcha.
Maybe not with the same altruism, but it's definitely that kind of vibe.
Yeah, direct pipeline downstairs. Sort of
We
situation.
love stealing from the rich people
Yes.
so that we can actually live.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah. I like to think that maybe at this bar or at this table, maybe you go and find one of these private booths. You have your now double and open up one of these books. Maybe it's the Heart of Aias. Maybe it's the Forgotten Saint. Maybe it's your journal. How does that sound to you?
I think it would probably be the Heart of Aias. I'm like reticent to open the journal in public spaces.
Interesting. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make a Arcana check, I suppose.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Ooh, 7.
7. So maybe it's this old prose, and perhaps with you're coming from the Moreaus from Mendacia, you're not used to this style of writing. Maybe even Common is not Pyrrhic's first language.
Well, maybe not.
Because he knows Elvish and
Yeah, the Eladrin variant of Elvish, I'm pretty sure.
Gotcha.
Let's see.
Yeah, I would say, just from a lore standpoint, I would say,
Yes,
Common would probably be his second language. Common is the universal tongue of the material plane, whereas in the Moreaus on Mendacia, that moon, they would speak things like Eladrin or Elvish and Abyssal, Sylvan, much more commonly.
We're playing a character with only having like 2 languages.
Yeah.
All my characters always have like 4 languages.
Yeah, well, that
I'm
could
always going
change.
into the sage, you know what I mean?
That could change. And so you're paging through this, and it's like you're reading Beowulf,
Okay.
where you can kind of understand words as they are coming up, but it feels very disjointed. And putting that all together, you get more broader concepts of the what's written at hand versus true understanding. There are some concepts that do more or less strike you. Even coming into this text and reading some of the basic words, you have the understanding that the Heart of Aias is absolutely the most powerful artifact that could possibly be found on the material plane, or frankly any plane, as it is the largest accumulation of quintessent color that has ever been discovered, ever been reported. And it has been seen once and not seen since. And the time that it was seen would have been the marker from the end of the first era and prehistory into the second era. It was that important of an event.
Jeez. All right.
So, as you're reading through this, it does strike you, you may have, in your pagings through the journal, picked up on a little bit of the importance of something like this and pieces of quintessent color, and you are drawn to some of those memories of the past in Mendacia. With that, I would love for you to go ahead and describe a little bit of what Pyrrhic's first home was like.
In a southerly region of marshlands in Mendacia, known as the Gullet, there is a large swamp bed that culminates into almost like a kind of like a cul-de-sac in a way, right? Where there's imagine like a small pond of a lakefront property. They're two different things. You know, you have a big building, and then in front there's kind of like this rounded water deposit where there's definitely
like a retention pond.
Yeah, essentially, right? Where it's like, yeah, it's a pretty feature, but ultimately it is still a piece of nature.
Yeah.
Vines that have been growing through the area for generations are beginning to overtake a lot of the front porch area. The front steps, one of the first steps up into the porch area is actually mostly underground, but most people would never know. Where there's 3 steps, but there's supposed to be 4. It's a visually humble style building, but ultimately still kind of a surprise to find in the middle of this almost swamp forest quiet looking environment, mainly because in the culture you have the nomadic sects of the Sealy court that continue to sort of
the Moreaus. Yeah, you would be in the Moreaus.
Continue to move and change and adapt, whereas the Frostfall estate sort of was put here and has stayed here, and as a result is becoming almost more part of the land than even some of the land itself. Some of the land is newer than how long this manor appears to have been here. And it may not even be that long, but to anyone in the area, it would be fundamentally strange that there is a kind of a stationary building here.
Yes.
Right? The implication being that these nomadic groups travel through, we call them yagas.
Yes.
Right? So it kind of creates this imagery of houses on legs, these mobile units, the implication being that the legs are underground. Right, the legs are almost like the roots of the house at this point. So the house at one point may have been mobile, but is now sort of been, again, to use the word roots, rooted into this environment.
Nice.
The Frostfall Manor is it's relatively dull now, dulled by age, but at one point may have been dark oak, mahogany style woods. You've got it's all, natural flooring in the way that it's hardwoods, right? You've got very ornate carvings in the moldings, everything from door frames to window frames to the way that the floor meets the walls. It's all very homogeneous, if I do say so myself. It was made with care at one point, but its upkeep was deprioritized at some point.
Yes.
It suited the family as a place of refuge and of life and of growth, but it ultimately was not. It was not the. There was no real need to keep it up for appearances because who was around to care? Who was around to see? The entryway opens into a fairly modest atrium. The foyer is sort of like you walk in, you can see up into the second story. There's a single staircase that goes up against the back wall. It's very very Victorian, right? Where you walk in, you have your square main room. There's a staircase that goes up, and then there's two wings on either side. You have your parlor. You've got what would eventually either be like at one point may have been a dining room that led into the kitchen behind. Dining room is a little bit more repurposed at this point. There's not a lot of family meals happening so much. In the upper story, you've got all the rooms. You've got Pyrik's bedroom, his mother's bedroom, which was not shared by his father, only out of convenience, really, because he was always rather involved with his study.
Yes.
And there's a large room towards the back of the manor that I think at one point I described as being clearly built first. It was the room that the house was built around, almost. And it's this. It is a single room that spans the first and second floor, full of bookshelves, long research tables. Think of the library in Hogwarts, where it's like you've got like the long, or what the heck with them, Harvard, where they have like the long study tables, and then they're backed on front ends by or both ends by these long bookcases. They have this sliding ladder that goes across. Right, you have the complete access to all this repository of knowledge, and it stretches all the way to the ceiling. There's no break between the two. Floors. So it's this. It was the primary study for Pyrik's father at the time that he was in the abode.
Garrick, the Yeoman Frostfall.
Love a little bit of Garrick.
Well, yes. And for a bit of atmosphere with Mendacia being the night moon for the material plane, it is often a very dusky sort of lighting. Still at the height of day, enough to be called bright light, but not like you would at the height of summer.
Yeah, natural light is not something that people really consider when building.
Yeah. There may be some bioluminescent sort of plants and animals in the flora and fauna of the surrounding area. Certainly some glowing algae on the gullet as it just is this stagnant, seemingly endless from your perspective, pond. And then, of course, in the retention pond, I almost imagine in the center of that some sort of sculpture.
Sure. Also, just at like an almost 45 degree
just kind of
angle.
sunken
it's
into
not
it.
Really, there's no real foundation.
Yeah, maybe depicting the first yeoman of the Frostfall family, and with being recently reinvested into Garrick, it's just been neglected. This long ago forefather of the great game. With that too, these dusky oranges and purples, the soil itself would probably be closer to a purple, so you'd have these mountains of the grinning peaks far off in the distance on cloudless days, just swooping almost at that's in a smile between each mountain. And these forests immediately just going into darkness. Whether there's I would say Frostfall Manor is in a larger clearing. Coastal, yeah. Yeah. Would you say it's along the gullet or a ways in?
I would say it's probably on the edge, the southern edge of the gullet.
Cool.
Right. So you have sort of the more firm foundations behind the house, and there's maybe like a burgeoning forest that happens before that.
Yeah.
You can tell that some of the trees have been removed over time for either upkeep or even just spellcasting components. Right.
Yeah,
So there's
absolutely.
definitely some land manipulation over time. You can tell that there are younger trees that have been replanted to the best of their ability based on the foundation.
They look a bit scraggly and worse for the wear.
Not a lot of floral, not a lot of what I'm going to say foliage.
Yes.
You got a lot of wood and bark, but not a lot of
House
leaves.
Frostfall does not invest in its landscaping.
No, it does not. They're not particularly.
No. I would say there might be a small like boat dock or something.
I'm thinking almost like an entry point. Like they created sort of, because I think one of the reasons that drew me to put it in the gullet was that it's known for being a hot spot of a lot of like spellcasting materials.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm shifting it necessarily from spellcasting to magical research. There's a lot of component and resource gathering that would go along with that.
Right.
So I think you'd want the trees and the flora would be aspects of like, well, you'd probably cut those down or you'd prune them or you'd set up like, you'd know where to go. But then also you'd probably want to get stuff in the water too. So over time you create like your own little steps into that watery area.
Yeah,
Because obviously the banks are going to be slippery and muddy. So you can't just trust yourself to walk in and out of those. There's going to be kind of like a step down with a handrail, kind of like a public pool access.
Sure,
point,
yeah, kind of. Yeah, but it's on this hoity-toity rich guy's estate instead. This hoity-toity rich guy's crumbling estate. I would almost say too, like there might be a very small village way off in the distance down the coast of the gullet. What shall we call that?
Dang, it's a great question.
Something with moths, maybe.
Ooh, okay.
Name it after a moth of some kind.
Cinnabar Village. I fear I may have invoked some Pokemon fans with that, but
Hey, we'll take the fans where we can.
yeah, Cinnabar Village. The Cinnabar moth is a mostly black moth with two red spots on each wing. So you've got like this very like triangular shaped black velvet looking moth, and then on each wing these little red ovals.
Yeah,
So-
and maybe in keeping with that kind of motif, in the Moreaus, it could be instead of flags they have these kind of standards that come down like moths' wings, and that could be its kind of standard.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm writing that down too. That's lovely. That's great.
I'll give you another one to hold on to for later.
Great.
Saturnidae.
Ooh, I like that too. Yeah.
Saturnidae. It is the word Saturn, and then
Oh yes.
Iidae. I'm pretty sure there's two I's. Saturnidae is the family of butterflies that usually like the Polyphemus moth, for example, is a Saturnidae. And
Oh, yeah.
I believe it's classified as Lepidoptera that have like eyes on their designs. I
Like the
can't
eye
be
spots,
sure
yeah.
about that, but it seems like every single time I find a Saturnidae, it's a species that has camouflage, predator camouflage.
Too cool.
Yeah, so,
Too cool.
But that's as far as the Morose goes. It would be a good one to hold on to in case we
Yeah,
need a name
absolutely.
for something. But Cinnabar Village, outskirts of this gullet area outside of the
Yeah,
estate.
it would be a fairly isolated community, with where the gullet is. It does not often get too much foot traffic from the hordes.
Very insular.
Yes. So a nice spot for a researcher of Garrick's propensities and mindset. It's the perfect spot.
secluded, away.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm sure
Lots
some
of
people know
working
that it's there.
space. Yeah, yeah.
It's not attempting to hide, but it's attempting to be out of the way.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, a nice settled space. This particular day, though, that comes back to mind would, in fact, be one of those rare days where a yaga, and not just any yaga, the yaga of yagas, would visit to collect its tithe.
Ah,
You, as a youngster in this memory, would see from perhaps your bedroom window this spider-like sort of construct off in the distance, slowly skittering its way towards your estate and Cinnabar. And you would be aware that this is clandestine, which is the seat of power for the Moreau's gathering. The magpie of the court, Lord Oberon. This is his personal castle, his citadel, his city, and his closest followers all live on this enormous structure. It looks to be that it will be here in a matter of a few hours. What do you do?
well, what would you say? How old do you think he is at this point?
I would say,
In like human years.
in terms of like human lifespan, I would say older child approaching adolescence.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
13, 14. Or even that, or maybe even more like a 10.
Yeah, like a tween,
Cool.
10-ish.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think he's going to try and get someone's attention.
Great.
Right? I don't know if it's going to be sort of like someone who works in the estate, or if it's going to be. I think he's going to go directly to his father. I think
Yeah.
he's going to let him know that
Yeah.
Oberon is.
You would know he is working in his study. Mm-hmm.
He's going to push open these rather ornate doors.
Yeah.
And he's going to walk in, and he may not be able to see him at first because the
Right.
room is pretty big. And he says, he's just kind of a knock on the door. He says,
Enter.
actually, he's probably used to it. He's probably he's like, whatever. He walks in, and he says, I believe clandestine might be here by the end of the day.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, boy. I am aware. But there is much to do still. Come. And he motions over. Come, boy, come. And he is poring over these notes, and you recognize his handwriting very well. And he tells you, I think I'm on the brink of a new discovery here, boy. There is a substance that is very special that I am going to learn how to use fully. Do you know what I'm talking about?
And he's gonna think about, like, as a child might. He's gonna think about the things that he knows about, which is ironic because he just got told it's new, right? So it's like, I don't know if you've talked to kids about that. It was like, here's this cool thing, and they're gonna be like, oh, this thing, and you're like, no,
Right.
no. So he's gonna think of the most like arcane, like off the top of his head. So like, is it those beautiful glowing flowers outside Cinnabar?
No. Although in a manner of speaking, yes.
He's gonna.
I've told you about the color before, my boy. Right?
Yes.
Yes. It's in the flowers. It's in the ground. It's in the sky. It's in you. It's in me. But such little tiny bits of it that we cannot see it. But we can use it. And he conjures Mage Hand for just a moment. More prestidigitation, rather.
It's more showy than it is.
Yes,
like
and he
practical.
conjures an image of those flowers that you were talking. Mind is matter. And if we can use that, we can make matter.
And of course, and I think he's seen magic, right? Most likely, we just saw it, and I don't think that registers at the level that someone who even at our age would know, right? You can't create matter, you can't destroy or create energy, right? So like that doesn't register to him. He's like, okay, he's trying to look eruditious. He's trying to be like, I see. But he's a kid, right? So he's not fully grasping exactly what he's being told, but he's excited because Garrick is excited.
Would you like to roll deception?
Yeah, I would actually. That's really good. Yeah. Of course. Okay. 11.
So I rolled a 21.
You know what? That makes sense.
He gives you a knowing look. You've not been studying, have you, boy?
Not today.
He gets up out of his chair. With obvious impatience and tepid acceptance. Kids will be kids.
Sure.
Sort of.
I thought mine would be different, sort of thing, but here we go.
And he walks over to a bookshelf and pulls out a rather tattered looking tome of, it's effectively a magic primer.
Okay.
And he just thunk. I know you've read through this before. You're going to read through it again.
He's like, it's like being told you have to take medicine. He's like, I know you're right, and I'm gonna do it, but I don't like the idea that.
And takes his long fingers and kind of cradles your cheek into his hand, and as gently as it is abruptly, kind of pulls it up to his eye focus. And he's not as tall as adult Pyrik would be, but he is on the taller side. He says, "You are meant for so much more, and it is time for you to learn that." And he pushes the book towards you, leaves the office, leaves the laboratory, and locks the door behind him.
Sure.
Checking back in with Pyrik in the present moment. What does he do?
I think it's one of those things where you read all the way down to the bottom of the page and then you realize that you haven't read anything. He's sort of like dissociating at this point, lost in that memory. And I think at that point, I noticed in the description of the Heart of Aias that there's a diagram of what appears to be what would be inferred as the heart, right? This massive crystalline geode that sort of refracts light.
Can you read the description of what I wrote again, please?
Yeah.
Just since you have it up, and you can share with the audience.
Yes. The whole thing?
Yeah. Including your fun edition.
Oh yes.
That's it.
So when I discovered that I got this book and it is what it was, I in my custom notes just wrote "Holy fuck."
Yeah.
So the book details a legendary stone of enormous size that is almost passed into myth. The foreword details an apocryphal account of Aias' formation of the universe and how creation of this facet whittled him away until there was just his heart left. If it existed at all, its whereabouts are a closely kept secret that perhaps no one knows. An artistic diagram on the back cover details an enormous geode spraying prismatic beams of light in all directions, and such an artifact is said to be able to do anything. And so I think he's like realizing he hasn't read anything on that page. He's going to call it, and he's going to close the book, and on the back he's going to see that diagram for a moment.
Yes.
And it's going to be that realization that it's almost like there's kind of like a parallel with like the Philosopher's Stone in this moment, right? Where it's like, here's this thing that realistically X number of people have tried to find or synthesize or create, and I think it dawns on him sort of the mortal gravity of what it is that he's attempting to do, right? Where it's like, here's this concept that it's like the Oak Island treasure. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Enlighten me.
Oak Island is an island in Canada, and it has been a source of treasure hunting since the 70s. It has claimed the lives of many treasure hunters. It is one of those things that there are still like modern day treasure hunters trying to find this rumored, theorized, mythic treasure that is supposedly buried somewhere on Oak Island, and no one's been able to find it. And of course, the naysayers say, "Well, does it even exist?" It's this legend about, I think it's like a privateer or something, or an amassed wealth was hidden on the island, and so people are always like, "Oh, I'm going to be the
Might
one
be
to
Captain
find
Kids.
Probably, right? I'm not as well versed in it as many others are, but the Oak Island treasure is synonymous with this impossible quest to, prove that you could be the one to do it, prove that you could be the one to find it. When in reality, really all it does is just kill people.
Right.
So in a lot of ways, this has that feeling where it's like, am I really going to go do it? Am I really going to be the one to try after so many have tried
Yes.
and probably failed? And I think he's going to close the book, put it away after thinking about it for a minute, and probably go and find Bartolomeo.
Okay. Yeah. Your new friend, we'll call him Batu.
Batu.
He would point you in the direction of one of the other parlors, and you would see that this is a little more dressed up to look like a museum of sorts.
Cool.
So you do see some rather old-looking curios, perhaps some weapons, figurines, jewelry, in some very, very nice and secure display cases. There are a number of noble-looking folks and ladies that are in conversation with, say it's a dwarf, a dwerger.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah, a deep dwarf, I believe I've called them in this, or underdwarf. Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
they are an underdwarf.
It's funny what Rama the Frostmaiden will do for your prejudice towards certain towards certain races. I have to realize now I have like a D&D a light D&D racism.
Well, I mean, in Baldur's Gate 3 too, the Dwerger are not nice guys, really, usually, unless Tav is one. But Yeah. At any rate, you see this underdwarf who is himself very nicely dressed. However, it is definitely the garb of an archaeologist. So, like a fitted tunic and fitted pants with some knee-high boots. Not quite like riding boots,
Sure.
but certainly keeping the dirt out and off. He's got some thicker gloves on a belt at his side with some finer white gloves for handling precious artifacts on, as he is showing them to various buyers and vendors and dealers throughout the area. Yeah. Worth mentioning to Vesper and Fenlis, they all are probably still either at this bar or have gone into another parlor. There was a weapons room somewhere that Fenlis may be interested in looking at.
Sure.
So don't worry about them for now. We'll worry about them later.
Yes. Context clues. I have a pretty good idea of what Fenlis is probably trying to achieve. So
Perhaps,
she's
yes.
off doing her own thing. For sure.
Perhaps, yes. Anyways, you see this this underdwarf Bartolomeo, and he is exchanging. He takes a rather heavy-looking coin purse from this we'll say dragonborn noblewoman, and he goes over to one of these display cases and using, I guess, an arcane sigil of his own design, unlocks this display case and gingerly takes a necklace and earring set out from it, closes that back up, and says, "Here you are, madame. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you for your custom. A pleasure." And he goes over to a small desk and begins writing in a ledger. At a cursory glance, it looks to be encoded and written in some sort of dwarvish script, but you can't make out what it's supposed to mean other than he's recording his business in there.
Sure.
What do you say? What do you do?
Provided that no one else is, in queue.
It's a very mix and mingle sort of
Yeah.
thing. Probably some of these other folks will be like, "Oh yes, that's very nice, madam. Yes, very good, very good, very good."
I'm going to casually approach the counter and say, "Good evening. I am Pyrik Frostfall, and I am rather interested in your stall."
I see. Yes. Well, welcome. I see you are an acquaintance of ours. Yes, I've not seen you around here before.
No, quite recent. Yes, very interested in becoming more. Should the opportunities arise.
I see. I may have some work for you.
I was informed by Batu that you might have some information about, historically speaking, the giants, or perhaps maybe you've explored some ruins and had some experience in these matters.
And as he is finishing up his writing, that when you say the giants, that kind of perks his ears up. And he's like, the hard to get stuff. I see. Yes, I have several things from this era, of course. Come with me this way here, and he comes over to another display case with several enormous weapons.
Sure.
And then an etagere that it's made of this mahogany that is very geometric in nature.
Sure.
It's a pale looking sort of tree, a pale-looking sort of wood. Where are my words today? That looks as if it could have been a tree from the Underfar, brought with him. And this etagere is full of anything that's like carved stones. There may be some what would be giant's bracelets that are necklaces or belts, and a few other bits and bobs from the era of giants. Some newer pieces as well he shows you from the nation of Kemperland, which is far up in the north.
Yeah.
Make a history check.
Yes, let's see. I would think we have mentioned Kimberland at least once in reference to the sects of giants that may still be. They would be in Kimberland, I think.
Okay, so yeah, don't worry about the history check. Then I already told you.
I'm very good.
No, I get you, and this is why I love having you at my table. You take the notes and you remember it. Kemperland, of course, being the rump state of the former giant empire. It is still a power in its own right, but more so in a religious and mysticism sort of manner. There are some sects of giants that do come from the Underfar, which Bartolomeo would say, this is the bulk of my collection, as you may understand. I am from Zindir, of course, and in the holler there are many ruins of the Fomorian sect of giants. This being our national ancestor, we'll say. Yes. So, behold here, and you would see there's two sets of rocks that match each other. You would see, and then there would also be one of these necklaces that looks like it has been repurposed into a belt.
Sure.
Those would probably be the things that catch your eye the most.
I would. I ask of the stones. Are they of the sending variety by any chance?
Very astute. So you know of this ancient technology? Yes.
We've got quite a lot of comprehensive reading in the Feyfar for magical items.
Oh, this is where you are from then.
Yes.
Sealy or morose? Well, wait. Let me try and guess. The Sealy?
Oh, not quite as cheerful as it were.
Ah, yes. Well, how delightful, how merry.
Yeah, well, merry indeed, I should say.
Yes, I've only been to merriment once.
How did you find it?
Quite nice, actually. Yes. The duskiness reminded me of home.
I'm sure.
Yes, the pinnacles of the towers of sorts. The architecture is very striking.
Yes, it's rather unique. I can't say I've seen anything quite like
Yes.
it here in the material.
No, sir, there's no comparison. I'm rather fond of ours underground, but yours makes the stalagmites look quite short, truly. How would you describe the architecture in the Morose?
So such a specific cut. One of my, I'm always saying this, especially with the remaster having just been released, but in Oblivion, there's a DLC campaign called the Shimmering Isles, and I have on many occasions referred to the Shimmering Isles as some of the best video game expanded universe content ever made. And
Nice.
in the Shimmering Isles, which is a plane of chaos, one of the main
This is Sheogorath's.
Sheogorath's domain.
Yes,
So within
yeah.
Sheogorath's plane of chaos, there are 2 primary regions, which is Mania and I'm gonna forget the name of it now, and I'm so upset about it. But it is essentially the Celian Morose. It is Mania, which is like bright oranges, and it's like you can make a set of amber weapons.
Cool.
It's like this. It's like very Alice in Wonderland style sort of land of wonderment. Everything's very curly and very like gnarled, but still very exciting. And then there's I almost had it. It's not important.
That's okay.
The opposing is it's dark and it's gloomy and it's depressing and it's again gnarled and spirally and very organic, but also very tall and large and engulfing. Right. So you have this dichotomy. You can choose when you play for the first time which path to take, and then that path determines which types of weapons you can make in the game, and it informs the rest of the experience, which is very cool. And so in my head, that's what I'm getting out of it, right? Where it's like these, like a spiraling wizard tower that comes out of the ground that's like consumed by ivy as it goes halfway up, but then like even the little chimney on top itself is like spiraled and gnarled, right? Where it's like Tim Burton meets actually, you know what? No, Henry Selick.
Thank you. Yes.
meets kind of like the Fall, even, right? We have almost like this Salvador Dali quality surrealism matched with this unnatural natural feeling, right? Where a lot of the visual elements in Selick and Burton's work is very like it's you know what a window looks like, but if they get their hands on
distorted.
it's like it's angled and even the interior dividing planes are angled, and it's like it feels, you know what it looks like, you know what it's supposed to look like, but you have to look at it a second time because you realize subconsciously that's not quite right. I think surrealist take on that like early 2000s Gothic sort of architecture, right? So it's Uncanny Valley almost for people who haven't seen it before.
I'm almost picturing too a little bit, and this may be just my notions as I was writing this. Have you seen the Chronicles of Riddick?
I have, both Pitch Black
the necromorph towers almost, but just like without so much of the straight geometry of it. And then pepper in some of the disorganized aspects of Howl's Moving Castle.
That's because Howl's Castle is essentially a yaga.
Exactly, yes.
So that works really well. It's the Shivering Isles. Shimmering Isles is Ireland.
That's okay.
Let's see here.
I've not played Oblivion. I've only played Skyrim.
Famously.
Let's
see. Fantastic.
Very good. And perhaps maybe this is another good point to get back into a flashback here. And with this too, I would like for you, Tristan, actually, in the journal there, I'd like for you to read out the next 2 entries. And this would be stuff that is known to Pyrik at this point. If you want to read the first 3 even, that's fine.
Just right here?
Yes, if you can start with that one and then do the next 2. Just for the audience's benefit, and we can storyline this as maybe Pyrik was reading more of this the last couple of nights.
The first lesson of any arcanist is that the core houses of color dictate the makeup of existence. From the thoughts in my head to the brain matter that creates them to the ink in my quill, all is magic, and magic is all.
While we can find magic in everything, it is my goal to study and master the quintessence of the world so that its mastery may be used to balance the Seelie and morose courts. This is the only chance Arena and I might have at a life out of exile. Quintessence so far is exceedingly rare, and can only be found in the material far of Aias' vestige. Ancient studies by the giants see progressive yet ultimately futile in leveraging the synthesis of quintessent color. Rediscovery and expansion of their findings is essential to eliciting any hypotheses that may or may not have considered. Legend speaks of their experiments going horribly wrong. I will not entertain such oversight. Through no shortage of difficulty and some underhanded chicanery, I have finally acquired a tiny fragment of quintessent color from the material plane, Ferocian, Argent? Procured a crystal tahir, a city I am told of great industrial importance of Aranisia, nestled in the mountains of that empire.
Aranakia, sorry.
Aranakia. Even more entertaining, I like that. Aranakia. Of that empire. It is small, the size of my thumbnail, and I can see it change color, hue, shade, and saturation constantly. As I sit here in Forus, I am struck by the brilliance of its potential energy and puzzled on how to transfer it. I have secured it in a container as I dare not handle it until I reach the safety of my lab. I must investigate it still while I remain on the material so as to compare its behavior so that while in the Feyfall. I hypothesize that the color's mastery by these of the Feyfall may differ from these born of Aias itself. We may be able to manipulate or direct it in ways hitherto unseen, as we, like the color, are native to the astral further made material. Arena may have some ideas here.
And then last one.
The crystal behaves differently in the Feyfall, as expected. The erratic shifts and changes in its appearance have transformed into a measured rhythm, moving through the rainbow in an organized gradient, as
My handwriting not good. Uh-oh.
as if calmed by an arriving home after years away. My experiments on the material yielded that, indeed, interactions with the crystal while enacting my will upon it created an effect similar to that of a wild magic surge. It is therefore an entirely possible fact that the stone can be utilized for an intentional arcane result. It is strongly recommended, maybe strangely, it is strongly recommended that a magician do so with it affixed to an arcane focus. It is still likely for any spell to misfire, but this risk is drastically mitigated. It appears that contact with life force itself without a conduit is what causes the quintessence to act so erratically. My hypothesis now is that the color, being so irrevocably tied to Aias itself, cannot fully channel in another life force of its own, thereby causing the particle to become unstable when met with another living entity. By contrast, when removed from the material plane, its connection to the Great Old One is diminished, as is the particle's confusion. This focus of energy could be used to direct incremental changes to reality. Must conduct more testing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So with that, you would have the direction of the giants, and particularly which sets of giants might have a bit more. Hence why you have arrived in this portion of Aias. This being effectively the front lines of the Great Folk Wars, is where a lot of giant activity took place in and before the First Era. With that too,
it was dementia. It was mania and dementia were the two areas of that.
Oh
world.
yeah.
It took me a second to get it, but
mania and dementia.
Mania and dementia. Sorry.
Very good, very good.
I love Oblivion so much. Oblivion to me is Skyrim to you.
Well,
so,
yeah. Later in Pyrrhic's early adolescence, you are still at this book for the 100th time over. This year, even. reading from this book has turned into a punishment for
Back to basics.
Pyrik. You have it memorized, and you hate that you have it memorized.
I'm getting ahead of myself as I'm reading because I know what happens next.
Right.
I know what the next lesson
And
is.
and unfortunately, it's a textbook, so it's not even that
Oh
interesting.
yeah, no. We're talking about names, places, moments in magical history,
Yeah.
breakthroughs, right? The first time we realized what a cantrip was.
Right?
Yeah.
The door bursts open, and it is your father. He has not been home for quite some time. His normal self fit as a fiddle, but he is overjoyed. He said, my boy, put that away, and he flings it off of the desk.
He's ecstatic.
And sits on it, and you've never seen him like this before. In terms of stature, like he's about a little bit shorter than what Pyrik is now. Has a similar jawline, similar stern brow, jet black hair.
Yeah.
And wearing purples and silvers as opposed to the crimson and gold and auburn orange that Pyrik so enjoys now. It's a lot more subdued and darker of a palette, which may perhaps reflect some of his personality. Who's to say?
Yeah, he's got that Gale fit. Nice.
Yeah, kinda.
Nice. The Decarios fit.
There it is, the Decarios. Yes, I would say he'd probably have these kind of sweeping shoulder pauldrons.
Yeah.
And some more finery befitting a yeoman of the Magpie's court that has put himself in self-isolation. So it's very... They're fine clothes, but they're old clothes.
Yeah.
They're not the latest fashion. Very traditional.
Yeah. The yeoman's uniform, right? It's probably his
Pretty
father's outfit.
Honestly, it very well is. But he is sitting on the desk.
Yeah, I don't know about that. You know, like oh god. Okay.
It's very out of the ordinary for him. I have a surprise for you.
For me, father.
Well, you're going to be surprised.
Okay, all right.
Yes. And are you ready?
Ooh, show
Close
me.
your eyes. Hold out your hands. And he places in what feels like a ceramic jar.
And is it opaque?
You can't see through it, no. There's a cork lid.
Uh-huh.
Go on. And inside it, there is a small, perhaps banana-shaped gemstone of opalescent quality that changes in hue. First to bright pinks and purples, then into subdued oranges and greens, then over to a bright blue, then a dark blue. Just no rhyme or reason
Rotating
to
colors.
it. Color, hue, saturation, shade, brightness even. There's an instance where it flashes and you have to look away for a moment. I've done it. I've got it.
How could you have found something like this?
Lots of favors, lots of work, and pressing his finger repeatedly into the desk, lots of research.
I should say so.
That is why we do what we do.
I'm going to put the
cork back
He
on. And
snatches it back.
yeah,
Almost.
he's gonna like offer it back, and Garrick's just like, whoa.
With this, my research can continue to unprecedented levels. These decades, these nights of reading sleeplessly, these experimentations all have been culminated to this little rock. Just incredible.
And that's from the material plane, is it? Material plane.
Where have I been for the last several weeks?
I
had to make my way to the Tower of Hin
guess
for the waypoint.
where did
That was no small expense. Or small amount of time, mind you.
how did it react when you've come back with it?
It's hard to say at this point. And he's going to open it. Still quite random and erratic, which does not bode well. But that is slowing down, I believe. Just as I've noticed, on the material plane, it was almost epileptic. How frequently it would make changes. It even crackled with sound. I've never seen anything like this before. It's the most beautiful thing.
Did you have any trouble getting it back? Did anyone know you had it?
Make an insight check.
Ooh. Asking questions I don't want the answer to. Ooh, 13.
13. You get the sense that he put blood, sweat, and tears into finding this, and those blood, sweat, and tears may not have necessarily been his all of the time.
Right, okay, yeah.
I did what I had to do.
Well, of course. Such is the way of magical research.
This is going to be the most important thing for me, for us, for the worlds. We can change the universe, just as the great old one did.
Finish the game, I suppose.
Exactly. Finally have some peace and quiet here.
That's
To
gonna
live our
be
lives.
that's gonna be a really interesting for Pyrik to hear, because I think like conceptually, not even conceptually, practically speaking, it's a quiet home, and I think that he almost feels like he's probably just like a figure of speech, right? But I think that's gonna stay with him. He's gonna hear peace and quiet and be
Yeah.
like, what does that mean? Right? There's gonna be a moment like like in a workplace comedy, the person who's getting talked to is just gonna be like, wait, like a quick like brief look over, like, what does that mean? That's interesting. Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Several years pass, and we see another memory. This time, Pyrik is in his full adolescence. So, for a human around a 16, 17-year-old. And Pyrik being kind of on the end of young adulthood now. This has been maybe several decades to a century ago,
Yeah.
even. I have dates written down, and I don't have that off the top of my head what the exact number is, but anyways. Pyrik and his mother Arena have noticed more and more time being spent in the office, in the library, laboratory, than even before. Nothing changed really in terms of demeanor necessarily, just habits. What would Pyrik be doing in his time growing up over these years, do you think?
I think there's definitely a precedence in his family dynamic to be learning, because at this point in time, which we have not disclosed, Pyrik is not a magic user. Right. He's 16, 17.
Not yet. Yeah.
You know, he for him, he's like, you know, in Eladrin years, he's like, you know, 35, 40. But he's spent all this time researching magic, but he doesn't pursue magic as a caster. He's not an innate caster. He doesn't have magic.
Yeah.
And he's not pursuing wizardry, so he's not going to an arcane school. He works from the laboratory. He works from the study, because he's most likely becoming a yeoman himself, right? The you know, when 4 generations of, you know, magical educational members of your family come through, you sort of have this no one even said it to him. He just knew that this what he would have to do is he would have to become the next yeoman of the Frostfall family.
Yeah.
Right. There's been a Frostfall yeoman
the only
for
one.
the last, you know, however many hundreds of years. So it's like, okay, obviously that's what I have to do. Right. He's like, no one even asked. He's like, that's obviously it. And so all of his time is spent studying, which is why Garrick, of course, when he was a kid, was like, why don't you get this? Because you're going to have to get this, because one, I need someone to talk to about this, and two, you're going to need to be able to wear this cloak, right?
Yes.
So his time at home is spent in the study, but the craziest thing, he'll go days being in the same, 200-yard radius of his father and never see him.
Yeah.
You know, like he'll be,
unless he's directly in the laboratory, and even then, his nose is between the pages or pressed up against the glass of some experiment.
Right.
And you may even see him just taking the jar with the crystal
and just
fixated on it. It's precious to him.
So the there's, I think he's starting to create like his own, like over each of these flashbacks, these memories, you'll see kind of like there's a notebook on the table, and then the next there's like 4 notebooks, and then the next there's like 15 notebooks, and these are all, that's his own research, right? And it's not even like research like he's gonna find something new, because what he's new at this point. That's why Garrick is so excited. He's reiterating the knowledge, like to the point where he has to have it all rote memory, right? Which explains, like, he knows what a sending stone is, right? He's never seen one in person, but he's read at least
enough
4
context
books
clues.
Yeah, he's like talking about the concept of imbuing an item with the sending spell.
Honestly, as busy work, I totally see Garrick giving him like a compendium of common magic items and being, memorize this.
Yeah. What is it? What does it do? Why does it work? Why did we make them? Right. And he's like, sending stone makes perfect sense. Obviously, like we need to communicate.
And then once he's done that, it's like maybe it's the history of the great game, or a specific facet of it that pertains to how the Fae use magic, or
an excruciatingly
conduct their bargains.
Unabridged history of the Morose Court.
Kinda, yeah. Yeah, so you're very aware of like courtly politics and things, and what the kind of structure of the.
All right.
Someone's jamming out on some music out on Conroy Road there. Yippee. Anyways, you have a really like good understanding of Moreau's court politics, and even to a certain degree, Seelie
Yeah.
courtly behavior, which is a lot more complex for its own reasons. It's very with the Moreaus, it's very Mad Max. First one in the race wins, and it's always Immortan Joe. It's always the magpie.
Right.
Yeah. With that, though, you would come into the laboratory one day, and you would see that Garrick is fiddling with some potions and things. And you would have also had an awareness of some basic potion crafting.
Sure.
So in the future, if you would like to make a potion of minor healing, you are able to do that.
Cool. That'll be good. Thank God. 50 gold a pop. It'll be good to be able to make my own.
Yeah. You just got to get the components for it.
Oh, sure.
But you see him, and this fluid goes from a dark black as he pours it into this white fluid, and then it's completely clear. Make a perception check.
Oh, sure. Oh, that's a natural 20.
Natural 20.
Yes.
You would, as you are approaching the desk, see some flecks of red in there, like a deep red, bubble downward into this vial, and then with a shimmer absorb into the clarity of this concoction. And Garrick takes his other hand and... Ah, my boy! What are you doing here?
I was finding some components for documenting certain spells. What's in the flask?
A gift for you.
Oh, tell me more.
Well, I believe this is going to help you with some of your studies. This is going to certainly enhance some of your abilities in that regard.
All right.
Take it.
You said it's clear now?
It's clear. Crystal clear.
Smells it. What does it smell like?
It smells like iodine. It's very strong, but with a sweetness to it, actually.
I look around to see if I can see where the jar is.
You had a nat 20 for perception? I will honor that. It is right on the desk.
Yeah.
And it is open and empty.
Yeah. Ooh, boy. Oh, great. Yeah, I know what's in this fucking water. Alright.
Fucking magical backwash. Okay. I presume this is a potion for drinking, then, is it?
It is,
All right.
my son.
With great apprehension, Pyrik is going to drink from the flask. What does it taste like?
It tastes like candy floss.
Oh, cool. All right. It's well, it's actually quite nice.
You see? Nothing to worry about. And you see just the grin get wider and wider.
And I think he'll drink the rest of it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Again, internally trepidatiously, because he's
Great.
not been given a particularly good indication of what it is. The vague, it'll do good, is not a great bill of of safety, but he's just,
And
it's your father, right?
I think he would kind of pick up on that. With an insight of a 17.
Oh sure.
Yeah, I think he would pick up on that.
I think we've established he's not a character that Pyrik is not a character that like can overtly hide his his opinions of certain things. So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah. And he's Pyrrhic's father.
Yeah. Why would I not trust this man?
He very gently places a hand on your shoulder. And it's meant to be comforting, but it comes across in a way that exerts power over you.
Yeah, like the double hand handshake, where it's like it feels like it should be like a nice thing because it's like comforting, but at the same time we know that it kind of indicates sort of a superiority push, right?
This is good for you. This is medicine. You will be strong, my boy. And you will do so many great things because you are meant for greatness. Beyond the yeomanry, even. You shall have that title, of course, once I wither and die from this mortal coil, but you are going to change the world, my boy.
And
that is why I give you this gift.
he sort of like instinctively kind of just like smells it one more time and then drinks the remainder of the flask.
Every last drop. He kind of says, good. You understand.
Where's the color gone, Father?
He smiles warmly. Makes that direct and knowing eye contact that says, I think you know the answer to that question.
He kind of
And he says, off you go.
He kind of like looks through him at the empty pot on the table. Big breath in, nods, puts the flask down, and heads out to the main study.
As you are about to open the door, he calls out and says, I've never been more proud of you. And then continues writing in that infernal journal. Hey, that rhymed. You shut the door behind you. And in that foyer of Frostfall Manor, you see in a bright green sitting gown and long blonde hair almost down to the floor. You see your mother, and
She's got 20 arms.
Not today, no. She looks at you sternly and then looks back at the door and back to you with an indignation and a disappointment. Roll an insight check.
Ooh, 17.
17. Lots of insight checks.
Yeah.
Thankfully, good ones.
This is a very subterfuge forward.
Yeah,
family.
it is. It is. That anger, that disappointment that you see, you feel every atom of it go through you, but it is not for you. And it is for your father. She knows what has just transpired. Runs up to you and takes you by the hand and over to the parlor nearby. Wipes a tear away. Says, "You'll need to drink lots of water."
I would suspect that would be wise.
Mm-hmm. There's a decanter nearby, and she motions for one of the few retainers that the Frostfall estate would have to pour some glasses. Hands it to you. Hands both of them to you. I told him not to do this. I told him specifically not to do this.
I have not known him to be someone who would take the consideration of others into account.
He has poisoned you.
I'm certain I've had worse in the many years of study of alchemy and concoctions.
No, Pyrik. He's gone too far. This is insane. He has poisoned you. My boy.
I would imagine he has also poisoned himself, for whatever that might be worth now.
I suppose. You are not to go back into that dreadful, dreadful place anymore. I will not allow it. If I catch you in there, I will send you to clandestine.
I see. I might need to enjoy take in the evening air, perhaps.
Go. I love you.
And he's like getting that, and then also what Garrick said. He doesn't even say anything. He just leaves the house.
Mm-hmm. You would know your mother, Irina, to be a more caring woman.
Sure.
She is effectively the one that raised you, and Garrick is the one that schooled you. Yes, there were those fatherly moments, but many of them were around the creation of potions or learning of magic or the study of the arcane. Whereas Irina's role was much more in the motherly vein. Yes, she would teach you about some of the more holistic practices of magic, closer to druidry.
Yeah, like survival,
even.
Sort of medicinal survival.
Yeah. which is where maybe there's that affinity that comes in with Vesper. But it's more that relationship of people skills that you got, and any sort of sense of compassion. Yes, she's a talented arcanist in her own regard too, as more of a wizard would be. Perhaps closer to a bard even in some ways. Somewhere between there, a multi-class.
Yeah.
But definitely much more traditional and holistic views on magic and its uses.
You got the nurture and the nature.
Yes.
At the same time, right?
Yeah. With the night ending, you come back from your walk around the bog and over to the coast, taking in the dim lamps of the distant town of Cinnabar. And you go to bed. And I would like for you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I should say so, huh? Oh, hey, great. How the fuck did I get a +6 in con?
Because you're a sorcerer.
Oh, sure. That makes sense. Hey, that is a 25 Constitution saving throw.
Look at that, folks!
Wow. No Spider-Man transition tonight.
He's got that teenager invincibility in him.
He's got steel gut metabolism.
Yeah, it's you say that.
Well, I get the feeling it's not as bad as it could be. But
You're right. It's a grand success. However, it is not a pleasant success.
Oh no.
You bed down, and over the course of the night, you begin to feel symptoms of nausea. Your head feels as if a spike has been driven through the back and coming out of one of your eye sockets. Your body is doing everything it can to vomit this
Sure.
up to no avail. You even begin to see you are breaking out in hives or acne all over your body. It feels hot. Your body's never felt so hot before. It is a sleepless night.
Sure.
And with that 25, you better be thankful it was only one night.
Yeah, I should say so.
And from that, you do feel different.
I'm going to mark a point of exhaustion. Just for fun. There you go.
Man, that memory's so bad, I'm tired.
That's happened to me, actually.
With that, too, I would like for you to read the next excerpt.
Yes. The crystal indeed appears to be more focused, however. I am sorry to say that the effect it has on empowering Fey magic are not as I had hoped. Spells are more direct, accurate, and precise, however, are not as potent, powerful as the color made them on the material plane. I have mere ideas on how to harness the crystal's power. Troubleshooting with my wife, I wondered aloud how quintessent color may interact directly with the body if ingested or mixed with blood. She seemed horrified by the very mention of it. This just means I will have to do it myself.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Snapping back to the present. Bartolomeo has given you this information on both on the Fomorians of the Underfar. And he pivots and says, now I have some other items here as well that are from a little bit more of a local setting, of course. As you may be aware, this was the theatre for some very great battles at the beginning of the first, the Great Folk Wars and throughout. So, he brings up another shaped stone that is wrapped onto a pendant. This is a very ancient artifact here that when you attune to it, it shall make you a bit sturdier, more robust, you see. Harder to, you know.
Something along the lines of stone skin, I trust.
Not quite, no. More just in terms of your physical health.
Ah,
You see.
I see.
Yes.
What
Hey.
in the sense of this heartstone and the sending stones, what would you be looking to part with for that?
Well, I could part with any of these for the right price, as a matter of fact. Or perhaps you may be able to do for me a favor. Sorts. We can make this a business transaction.
Yes, I have discovered some predilections across the last few days that may lend useful to you.
Predilections.
Yes. We have managed to procure some rather specific work from the more intimate underworkings of the library of the college. And in doing so, have dispatched the librarian, though not as proud of that as I think I ought to be. But I would I would observe that as a accomplishment regardless.
We never did verify. Was it an observer or was it a spectator? Was it
It's a spectator.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think to get the point across, I think the word will stand.
Yeah. Mechanically, it is a spectator, but it is
A big floating guy
a big
with many
spooky
eyes.
guy with a lot of eyes. Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah. Mechanically, I have it that way so that like
Absolutely.
it's
Manageable.
appropriately challenging,
Yes.
but still wow.
Yeah. Oh, that very
So-
much.
Yeah. Very interesting. I've not had the pleasure of delving into that particular labyrinth.
Yes. The threat of the Beldanes is nothing I would pass without much trepidation again. But
Indeed.
I will say, overall, entrance was not entirely as prohibitive as I might have suspected. Yes. But it was quite the feat nonetheless. And
Perhaps there is something else that lingers then.
the yeah, I think you would say we have found reason to find our way down there and procure some tongues,
I
as it
see.
were. But I could see how.
Would you care to share which ones you might have?
Yeah, he's gonna pull out the Forgotten Saint for sure. And then I think he might also pull out the Curse one, the Demonics, curses and their uses. I think he would keep Heart of Aias and Core Forged in the bag. I don't think he would.
willingly throw those around.
So for curses and demonics,
I've written spooky, blood red leather bound. I've made my own little vocal exercise. Red.
And then
Blood red.
what was the other one?
The Forgotten Saint. Which may not be as impressive, but it was still in the restricted section, which I have to wonder why. They don't want us knowing about those saints, I guess.
He takes a look at the Forgotten Saint, pages through it. This is a parable of Tunis. Well known to me. The copy is interesting, but it is quite old. But it has no place in my collection. Thank you. Particularly the condition it is in. It is quite badly damaged.
Yeah, well, surely I wouldn't know. He like rubs his head a little bit.
This, on the other hand, this is quite the specimen. And oh yes, oh very nice, very good, absolutely incredible. This I am interested in very much. I shall give you a choice, my friend. I would like this book. And I will let you either take the necklace or this bracelet. Belt for you and I of such stature, but for a giant, a bracelet. Or I may have 100 platinum, which is, I believe, 1,000 gold. Make a... I'll let you choose either perception or history check.
Get the feeling I'm probably gonna wanna do. Let's see, perception. What history? Oh, well, it's the same modifier. Let's do perception.
Heck yeah, dude.
Ooh, 7.
7.
It's okay.
It's a pretty old looking book.
Sure.
It seems pretty valuable.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps, for the sake of our ongoing endeavors, the platinum would be wise. And then, should you have any additional work, I would like to render services for you in exchange of some other items, should you be willing.
He strokes his beard, and you see some of the tattoos along his arms. They look like they would glow. They would glow under black light.
Oh, cool.
Effectively. And many of them are stylized giant runes.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. I would be interested in this. Yes. Yes, 1,000 gold. The 100 platinum. This is agreeable, my friend. My new friend, shall we say?
As amenable, I'm happy to have friends in this environment.
Of course. And the platinum he gets out, kind of in like bars, effectively. very thin bars. Beskar.
I was gonna say Beskar.
Similar to Beskar.
Hell yeah.
Just a very small, tidy little cedar box of them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, very plain.
I thank you, Bartolomeo.
Of course.
I wonder, from a strictly economic perspective, your sending stones, and just a point of order, you said 2 sets of. Did you mean 2 or did you mean 4?
I meant like one walkie-talkie and the other walkie-talkie.
Okay, cool. Should I feel the need to acquire these sending stones, what would be your price?
400.
Then, well, I once I find a way. Very good. I thank you. I should think those would come in handy for me, and I will keep this in mind.
Indeed, yes.
Thank you for all your kindness.
Should you have any compatriots that need my expertise,
I will send them this
I'm
way.
ever at your service.
Bartolomeo, thank you. Oh, I better remove that book.
Goodbye, book.
Goodbye, book. Me and my books. Thank God. Okay.
You do like your books.
I do. I'm just constantly just like a little goblin. I'm always collecting things, but they always come in handy. So don't know why I wouldn't.
Yes.
That's the part of me that comes through all of my characters. That's
the
what
books.
Is the picking things up and keeping them. I have a crow brain.
Oh
where
well,
it's
yeah.
just like, oh, that looks like.
Thank you.
Oh, cool.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Thank
I
you.
realize now I did not take a trophy from the Spectator, which is rare for me. I do tend to.
Is it something Pyrik would do?
No, I think he wouldn't think ahead enough to prove. Because I think now that we're talking to Bartolomeo about it, I think there's definitely precedence to prove that we killed a Spectator. Because it's easy for me to say, yeah, I was in this special locked room that no one can go into, and I killed a beast.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, sure you did, buddy. But in the moment, no, that's not. You wouldn't have thought far enough to be like, oh, let me cut an eye stalk off to prove that I killed this.
Go ahead. With that in mind, I would like for you to make a persuasion check.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that you brought that up. And this is effectively saying, I can get shit done, right?
Ooh, you know what?
What?
I am actually going to use that the inspiration that I have from last session.
Alrighty. Yeah. So he completely believes you.
Yeah. Of all the time to make sure what I say lands, I think this is a pretty good situation to use it with.
Very good. So you have a very good relationship with him. He does like that you got this, that you gave him this book.
Huge. That's I think the most amount. That's the largest economic transaction I've ever had in D&D.
Nice.
So do we have to like go to like a yield coffer and have him like convert this? I imagine the gold probably has one.
Gold is definitely going to be the like common like high denomination for things like a 50.
Yeah.
Or $100. It's like a $100 bill.
Yeah. That's why I love tipping with them.
It is.
People are always like, my lord.
Yeah. Platinum, like definitely usable at like stores and vendors. If it was like a bartender, they'd be like, I
can't break this.
I can't. Why are you asking me to break this? I have to go in the back. I have to open the
You
safe.
get a manager's approval to break a platinum.
I am the manager and I don't have approval.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So like we can I've put it in as 1,000 gold.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just from a mechanical perspective.
That's fine.
Okay. Cool.
If you want it as 1,000 gold, that's also fine.
Okay. Cool.
He's got plenty.
I love the idea of platinum in a cedar box, though. Very cool. Very cool. Like, look. I also have to wonder if there's like there has to be like a currency specialist with the guild.
Oh, 100%.
You know, because you have your fences. You have your there's an internal economy that's happening here.
Right.
So I feel like going up to the house after winning in a poker game. You turn your chips into
Yeah,
gold,
it's very
right?
much casino-y sort of
Yeah.
vibes. There are people probably gambling in one of these parlors.
Oh yeah, I mean it's underneath. Obviously,
This is
very
like the
casino-style bar.
art room, effectively,
Yeah.
on like a a cruise ship.
Yes. So
Yeah,
I just from a logistics perspective, I would have it, converted to coin,
Yeah, that's fine.
and then just have it. That way, I can also give it to the party if we need to.
Right. Yeah, for ease and sake, and
Yeah.
honestly, like a currency specialist, I'm gonna.
Now I
Put that in.
I want to have like a little cedar box full of like little like metal chits. It's so cool.
Yeah. Moving ahead so we can finish
Sure,
up here
yeah.
in this last half hour. I would like for you to read the last excerpt of the night. And I believe this is the last excerpt that I've included.
Notes on sanguine interaction versus ingestion of quintessent color, done in secret. Blood. Placing the crystal into a vial of one's own blood will attune the crystal to you and heighten your spellcasting potency. It is hypothesized that purer crystals will further enhance one's abilities and allow one to recover the natural abilities more efficiently. Makes one's blood taste like candy floss. Ingestion of bloody quintessent color causes severe nausea, headaches, fever, and acne. After a day, symptoms subside and magical stamina may be increased. Crystal is unfortunately lost permanently, having been diffused into the body's systems. But effects seem likely to be permanent. We'll continue to monitor Pyrik as he grows. And then there is one more.
Yeah, read that one too.
Okay. It is my son's birthday. My boy is nearly his own man, and yet he does not possess any initiative to further his magical prowess. The color he consumed all those years ago has given him some ability, but he lacks the will or means to control it. What he does show manifests little more as a cantrip. Useless. My beloved Irina will not allow me to enhance Pyrik further. I understand her reservations and fury, but the risk to his life was necessary to make him strong. He may well hold the key to changing our worlds to be so much more. It's not that I could feed him more. The process of finding that tiny piece was too arduous and expensive to waste on him again. It may yet be another decade to find it naturally, but the giants, they played with the color creation. Could this be replicated in the Feyfar? No, they failed and disappeared. Too dangerous. Unless it is different.
And perhaps you head back to your seat in the bar area, finishing off the last little drops of your Pruden whiskey, when this more recent memory shows. For many, many years, Garrick had been AWOL from Frostfall Manor, pursuing God knows what on these studies. You, maybe having been in Cinnabar, coming back with food or supplies of some sort, some new alchemical ingredients.
Weekly stipend of like resources.
Yeah. You come to the house and see something feels wrong. Even the house has this foreboding presence. It feels perverted. It is as if someone has taken an old painting and just taken a razor through the center of it. You open the doors and you see the foyer trashed. Signs of struggle. Going up into... Well, where do you go first? I feel like I've railroaded a little bit. Sorry.
No, not at all. This is a really tricky situation because I think there's going to be a lot of thoughts that come through at this moment. But I don't think... Man, it stinks because I think I want to go check on Arena, but I think Pyrrhic's going to go immediately to study.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to know that either one of two things has happened. A rival has, entered into some kind of burgle, or Garrick has returned. And I think he's actually more scared of the latter. So, in order to prove that he's wrong, which is what he hopes to be true, he almost hopes there's just a random dude breaking into the manor. He's going to run directly into the study.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The doors are ajar.
Mm-hmm.
You push through them easily. And to your credit, I assume he would have listened to his mother and not gone back into that room.
No. The fact that the doors are open is haunting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would keep the doors closed as he was studying. Doors being open, and then when he left, the doors stayed closed. So this is the first time they've opened in a long time.
Yeah.
There's signs of abandonment, sure, from these many years away, but that's not what is the most striking. It is the disarray of a recent struggle and a recent occurrence of some sort. The bookshelves are bashed in some places. Papers strewn like confetti across this once ornate laboratory. Cracked glass crunches even more under your boots as you very hesitantly move deeper into the laboratory. A single figure lies on the ground with leathery skin, very threadbare, once fine clothing, a purple dun to them, and any sort of shine of silver thread gone, whether it was taken out and sold or just worn away with the years. He is not wearing shoes, and instead his feet and hands look mangled. The nails chipped and broken. And you see as well what was once a long, luscious mane of black hair is tufts of stringy hairs.
There's
wheezes on the floor. You can't see his face just yet, but there's drool coming from bloody drool coming from his mouth. You can tell from the floor. Continue.
There's a slow approach, right? It's abundantly clear who it is to Pyrik. Similarly to how you can tell who's walking in a house based on how their footfall is, you can feel who it is, and he approaches. And there's almost a disdain. He doesn't kneel down to see him. He looms, standing completely tall over him on the ground. The least you could have done was at least keep it nice in here.
He looks up at you. His neck cracks a little bit. The pits of eyes he has, once sunny coloration that he actually had, has dimmed and faded. He looks tired. These purple veins pulsating, especially around the top of the head. His face looks swollen. His teeth are falling out.
God.
He hasn't bathed or slept in days. Probably hasn't had a coherent thought longer. My son! My son! And he very slowly scrambles up onto all fours and moves. Where is it? Where is it? Where? Make a perception check.
Oh no!
What is it?
We've gone full circle. We got a 1.
Ooh, a crit fail.
Yeah, I think he's trying to like stay composed, but this is deeply unsettling.
Yeah, I think the juxtaposition of the smartest man in the world having fallen great lengths to this almost unholy sort of figure that pathetically
wretched
scrapes around on the floor has just paralyzed you.
Yeah, absolutely.
It looks like your father, but it is not your father anymore. And he just continues to scramble, returning over to a broken window. Shuffles through the glass, cutting himself on a shard of it. And he picks something up in his bloody grip. And then scrambles back over to you and kind of gets up on his 2 feet like he might have. Take it. Take it. And he very carefully drops another crystal into your hand. This one bigger. It fits fully. It's the same coloration, and it behaves the same way you remember seeing that crystal for the first time years and years ago. But it looks different. Rather than the natural sort of geode sort of features that it exhibited, this one is squared, rectangular, and geometric. It's a long, almost an obelisk shape, but without the pyramided top
like
to it.
Like selenite, I think.
Kind of, yeah. With that opalescence to it.
Yeah, perfect. Where it's like it comes in like the logs almost.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
It has like a natural sort of like splintering to it.
Do we have one of those actually? I feel like we do.
I feel like that pillar over there is probably selenite.
Actually, yes, it looks a lot like that. So, and it's maybe a little smaller than this. So, for those watching, thank you again. He gets something kind of like this.
Big boy.
Yeah, this is a bit bigger than what I'm thinking. Maybe like 2/3 of the size, maybe half. But
And then I believe in the first entry we read, the original specimen was that of a fingernail. So
Right.
going from essentially a grain of rice to a slice of bread, like we have a pretty significant shift here.
So you hold this. It feels like it should be heavy, but it almost has a gossamer feel to it. It's delicate. It feels delicate. There's a kindness to it.
There's a very dim light in the room, and he's sort of like holding it in the light.
But the light from this is
probably stronger than anything
quite
else.
yeah. Mm-hmm. Like you're holding a glow stick. We did it.
It remains to be
We
seen
did it.
what it is you have done, Garrick. But it has not been kind to you.
It's your birthright. It's yours. We did it. Happy birthday. It is not your birthday.
I was gonna say I don't even think I need to roll anything for that. I
It is
know it's not my
not
birthday.
It is not your birthday.
Oh, bro, that's brutal. Okay.
Where's the journal, Garrick?
And he like unbuttons his... I'm gonna...
Let me see where you've been.
Intimidation check, please.
Yeah. I'm gonna get it one way or another. Gotta kill this twink. Ooh. I don't think I've done intimidation yet. Oh my lord, hold on.
If it's on the floor and good, it's valid. No?
Not the worst. I would still accept it if it was the worst. Okay, 12.
12.
Could be worse.
Any fatherly love
Oh yeah.
that was left in this wretched creature has melted away for unadulterated, putrid avarice.
Brutal.
No. You already have what is owed to you. This is mine. My work. Mine. And he lunges at you.
Oh, beautiful. Okay. Then
You... You crack your head on the floor.
oh. Ow.
Hours later, coming to, one of the retainers splashes a little water on your face. What's his name? What's her name? What's their name?
The first word that came to mind was an STT.
Maybe not that.
Maybe not that one. Clarissa.
Clarissa. Cool. She is a... we'll say she's a dryad.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really leaning into Arena being a druid, to be honest with you. I think it makes the most sense.
Yeah.
We have a dryad retainer.
What's her name again? Clarissa?
Clarissa. I also like the idea of not calling her Ivy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you.
I really like breaking the mold on the
Yeah.
special.
She would kind of have those purplish features of the woods nearby, and maybe a few thorns here and there on her shoulders and whatnot, which she keeps exposed so as to not rip her own clothing.
Sure.
My lord, are you all right?
I'm fine. And he's gonna grip his hand to see if the crystal is still in it.
It is.
It is. And he's going to hold it in his hand as much as possible and use that hand to support himself so he can obfuscate it a little bit.
Yeah, I won't make you roll for stealth just because I feel like that's not anyone's focus right now.
Where? He wants to say my father, but there's a hesitation, and it's where did Garrett go? He was here. Have you seen him?
We saw him coming. He did some things, some powerful things, made us do things
Is everything
to each
all right?
other. I ran for help.
You were right to do so. Was
And
anyone injured?
I'm a little bruised myself. The other two are not so lucky. And there's no sign of your mother, I'm afraid. I'm very sorry.
Nothing to be apologizing for. There's nothing but the outburst of a madman.
Yes.
Well, we must endeavor to find him, because wherever he is, it's not...
He is, and she'll point, you would see that there are several hobgoblin soldiers
Oh.
that have subdued Garrick at this point, and even with as big as they are, they
Struggling.
you can tell it took them a while.
He's gonna stand up.
I believe he's bound for clandestine. Well,
He stands up, adjusts himself, kind of like brushes off some of the stuff. Does I call it the test? Is when you hurt yourself and you put your hand on it to see if there's blood. I've done it once and it was scary when it actually works. But he's gonna kind of like test where he hit the ground and look at his fingers and look back at Garrick and start to walk over. In human years, we'd say Pyrrhic's probably about like 2021 right about now, I'd say.
I'd say so,
right?
yeah.
So there's definitely like this earned maturity through trauma.
Yeah.
And he's slowly becoming aware of the fact that, like, I mean, he for all he knew, Garrick was already dead. Right, so he's probably in many ways already mourned his father. Like he's far past that.
Yeah.
And then to find out that he's alive, and this is what he's been doing with it, right? So he walks up. He looks at the guards. I fear clandestine might be too kind of a sentence. What other options are there?
He must go before the Magpie's court.
I fear that it may not be wise to have him in the presence of the Magpie in the state that he's in now.
You doubt the Magpie's power.
I
Sir?
fear for the uncertainty of the power in this man. There's a distinct possibility he's been driven mad by the quintessence. And I have no way of knowing exactly to what end that would be.
I see. The one hobgoblin gives the other a knowing look. To Oberon's call, then. Which you would know is the tallest peak. You can actually just see it from your vantage at the gullet. It is very far off in the distance, across the maw. And you would also have heard stories that it is a place where the uncontrollable are sent.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I would wager this the best course of action at this time. So you need assistance.
We will be all right.
I thank you.
Mm-hmm. We have our Yaga outside that will hold this one. They clock him again in the face and lights out.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's much more than frail at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Before he does that, I guess what would actually prompt that, he would look at you again very intently, and say something to the effect of, "For the heart, for 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 the heart," and then just clock.
Yeah, lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then
Which at the time would make zero sense to you.
Oh, sure. I'd sort of like my hand under his chin and lift him up to make sure that he's out, and then I will remove the journal from inside his robe pocket that he unbuttoned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And I,
Do you need that, sir?
this is a piece of my family's, well, I suppose at this point it's part of our history. And,
Indeed.
for posterity, I suppose we'll hold on to it for now.
Yes. As acting yeoman, I will not debate this any further with you.
The hairs on Pyrrhic's neck stand up when he hears that. He's like, a horrible thing to hear. Like, right in this moment where it's just like the weight of everything all culminating at once, where it's just like, Jesus Christ. I thank you for your service, and
Indeed.
I would advise to anticipate a certain element of unpredictability. But I wish you safe travel, and I hope that Oberyn's call will be good for him.
Mm-hmm. Make a medicine check. As they bring him up, you might see him.
I clicked spear, and I was like, well, that's a different kind of medicine, I suppose.
And then we'll wrap up pretty quick after.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20. You would see there's visible gashes from his struggles and on his hands, his feet, arms, and then healed scars and things as well, all over. What does strike you is that this scar that goes visibly down from his bottom lip down to the bottom of his jaw here, and it looks like a deep wound was there. Or with a natural 20, you're studying it just in those brief seconds. No, it almost looks as if the one half of his face is trying to get away from the other half of his face.
God, wild. Huh. He's literally splitting at the seams.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You would also notice that his blood has this kind of metallic sort of feature to it. It's not quite silver. It's still got that burnt redness that blood often does have.
Almost like an oil where it gets
It's
like that.
it's
prismatic sort of
viscous, it's
refraction.
oily.
Yeah.
But it looks like it has, there's a shimmer to it almost. And as they cart him and chuck him into their little yaga, this would be kind of a snail shell with a prison door on the back of it, and then perhaps another conch or something for the two or three guards to sit in, while the rest of the guards follow behind, and would skitter on several small legs.
Cool.
They turn back to you, give a nod.
And then I don't know what I've sort of like accidentally created this like sort of regional sign.
Yeah, they might
It's
do
kind of
that
like a
actually, as they're kind of the
small-
local
Yeah.
army. They're like an army outpost, effectively.
I've noticed I've done that a few
Mhm.
times when meeting like new people in the material far, and so I'm just like, okay, maybe that's just a thing.
Yeah, no, I love that. I love that.
Cool.
And they take him off to Oberyn's Call, leaving you by yourself with, well, not quite by yourself, but alone with maybe 2 retainers to pick up the pieces. Snapping back to the present day, you finish those last drops of whiskey and think to yourself, what comes across Pyrrhic's mind?
It's that realization that there are more connecting threads than there used to be. More things are starting to fall into place. And he... Oh, man. I think he's going to take off his glove. The one that he held the crystal with in that last memory. And I think there's going to be kind of like...
Sure.
Almost like a... I can't... You know how when the atomic bomb dropped, there were the atomic shadows that were created? I almost picture there being kind of like a faint outline in his hand in the shape of the crystal where it was originally touched his skin.
Yeah.
I designed Pyrik very specifically to wear gloves because I sort of envisioned kind of like Wanda Maximoff, where when she becomes Scarlet Witch, her fingers start to turn black. And so I was sort of thinking, like, I think there's definitely something where it's like, it's almost like an infection as opposed to an affliction. So, like, I almost imagine it like he hides it because he doesn't really know what it is, right?
Sure.
Because I think even in the journal, it's been advised not to touch it with your bare hands, right? So, like, in the research, there's sort of like this aversion to physical contact. And I think that when it hit his hand the first time, it's sort of like, I think singed is too easy of a word, but it left an impression in his skin. And so it's just sort of like always there, but he doesn't like people to see it, so he wears the gloves. And one glove would be too weird, so he just wears 2.
Yeah. It still has that same familiar warmth it had when you first met this object. It doesn't hurt or burn or cause pain. It continues to change its color, its hue, almost in a rhythm.
I like to imagine that when he casts magic, like underneath the skin, the outline of that impression starts to like glow a little.
Yeah.
Right.
100%. Absolutely.
Cool.
And I think we'll leave it there with Pyrik in quiet contemplation of his most treasured possessions. So sad boy, heavy episode.
Oh, poor Peppy.
Yeah, but we had such a good lighthearted couple sessions before. We got to bring it all back.
We still got to make sure Van Lease gets to have that date.
Yes. Oh yes. And yes, we'll see that next time. And thanks again for tuning in. Very much appreciate it. We'll see you next time. And again, be on the lookout tomorrow for a fun little announcement. Bye-bye.